What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about how I go about setting and accomplishing goals. So as we kick things off here, drop a comment below and let me know what your number one goal is for 2022. And stick around till the video as we talk more about how you can bring this goal to life and the process that I use to set and accomplish goals. What's up, guys? Blake Fontana here, teaching you how to launch and scale your online business and build a profitable online business itself. Now, as we get into today's video, last week I dropped a video breaking down 5 things that I would do differently if I were to start my online business over again from scratch after going from 0 to 500K in revenue in 2 years' time. Now, if you missed that video, be sure to check that out. I'm going to link it up here, and I'll also link it at the end of today's video as well. But in that video itself, and the reason I'm mentioning it here is because I offered an opportunity for those of you that watch to win my 6-figure messenger masterclass. So I will be announcing the winner for that itself at the end of this video. So be sure to stick around to the end, and we'll be getting to that here as we dive into things. So in getting into things today, when it comes to setting goals itself, one thing I want to talk about here to kick things off is the fact that as we set goals, it's very important that we're making them attainable and measurable, and also understanding that these goals itself are just targets. Because at the end of the day, if we're setting these big bodacious goals for ourselves or bold goals that maybe we think we can hit, but we're not quite sure, if we cling onto that itself and we fall short on that goal, let's say we get to the end of the 2022 and we don't hit that goal, then it takes a hit on our confidence and our ego. So it's really important that we can measure and say black or white, did we hit this or did we not? While also remembering that at the end of the day, this goal is simply a target, and our focus should be more on the process behind the goal and what we can do to bring that goal to life itself. So for example, last year, one of the goals of my business after coming off my first 100K year was to scale my business from 100K to 400K in the next year itself. Now, I could have went into my second year of my online business and basically just set that goal, looked at that every morning, reminded myself of it, and tried to aimlessly do some actions to bring that to life, but that wouldn't be that effective. Instead, I started first by looking at, okay, here's the goal. Now, what are the steps I need to take to get there? And more importantly, to start, what are problems that I ran into last year that I want to keep in mind this year to focus on getting in place in order to unlock this new level of growth and to hit this goal itself? So with my goal of 400K last year, after coming off my first 100K year the year before, that was a pretty big goal to go into the year itself, times 3 of what I just accomplished. And I'd be lying if I sat here and said that I knew for a fact that I would hit the goal. I was confident I would hit the goal, but at the same time, I didn't know for sure. And I didn't know exactly if I would be able to bring that to life. And I knew what I had to put my focus on. I knew I had to really align my inputs to bring that goal to life itself. More than anything, like I just mentioned, I had to focus first on what are the problems that I need to get in place, or what are the skill sets that I need to develop in order to unlock that goal itself. And it's really important that we're honest with ourselves here, because oftentimes the problem that we think is the problem on the surface isn't really the real problem. We have to go deeper and ask ourselves what the real problem is, and really identify what the root problem is so we can focus on developing that, getting that skill in place, and turning that from a problem to a solution. So as I ended my year in 2020, I knew the problem that I had to resolve was really aligning my lead gen and sales process to make it scalable. I was still relying on cold messaging and cold DMs, and I wanted to start to dial in my content to attract more leads to me and to allow myself to basically speak with more of the people that I wanted to speak to that were more of a fit for my offer itself. So I focused on dialing that in first, and I focused on creating assets that would help feed me those people so I could serve them, earn their trust, and enroll them into my coaching program and then help them get results. An easy way to think about this for you in your business right now, for example, is looking at your business like a house. So a house has different walls within the house itself to build that strong house. It also has a foundation. To me, that foundation is mindset. And then we have walls that make up that house to make it strong and to make the foundation strong and to build a really strong house as a whole. So we have marketing, we have sales, we have messaging, we have all of these components that make that house strong and complete that we need to be aware with ourselves on where our skill set is at with that. So one thing that I recommend that you consider doing is kind of scoring yourself based on the foundations of your business and what those core pillars are that you need to get in place to unlock that next level. Maybe it's gamifying it and making it so you're scoring yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, so you can see exactly where you developed at most last year and what you need to focus on developing most this year to more well-round your skill set and give yourself the best chance to achieve your goals this year as a whole. In creating that awareness around where the problems are at within your skill set or within your business as a whole, or where you need to develop in general, to me that starts kind of with reflecting on your previous year. Now, once we get that reflection down and once we start to journal and ask ourselves, okay, what do we need to really focus on developing, or what problems do we need to solve to put ourselves in a position to make this goal come to life? Now we can start to set those goals and start to work backwards and say, what are the quarterly targets? What are the monthly targets? And what do I need to focus on each and every week, day to bring that goal to life itself? So what I'm going to do here is share my screen and walk through a little map to help illustrate this a little bit easier. So I want to emphasize here again that the goal is just the target. So although I have this financial goal in this annual section here, this could be anything in this section. And you can use this same thought process behind whatever goal it is that you're setting itself. In this particular example, we're reverse engineering a business income goal, and I'm showing you how I kind of think behind that itself to bring that annual goal to life. So for me, if I'm setting goals for the new year for my business, I usually start with kind of the income goal that we are looking to grow towards itself or achieve, and then break down into smaller micro goals in each quarter around client results, around new things that we're rolling out, around developing my skills within my business, etc., to bring that to life. So with this example, again, this could be a variety of things in this annual goal spot. With this being that we're focused on a business-related example, we're going to focus on business income and work backwards from there, and I'm going to kind of walk you through my thought process behind it. So let's say the annual goal is to hit $150,000 in your business. Let's say maybe last year you hit $25,000 and you're looking to take things to the next level this year and grow to $150,000. Now, if we know the big picture goal and the ultimate outcome that you want to create by the end of the year is $150,000, now we can work backwards and say, okay, what realistically can I hit within Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 of the year? Breaking up really the year into 4 chunks of 3 months at a time. So with this, you could maybe say target for Q1 is 30,000, and then go up a step from there with the target of Q2 for 35,000, then 40,000, and then 45 from here. This way you're progressively growing each quarter and putting yourself in a position to all add up, if you add those 4 together, to be over the 150 and kind of overestimate to ensure that we're making that come to life. From here, once we have this quarterly target in place, I like to add more to this because obviously if we just focus on the income, we're not going to achieve the result. So what I like to ask myself is, what are some things that I can focus on if this were my goal here in Q1 to bring that Q1 goal to life? Because again, if we just focus on the income itself, we're not going to be able to just create that $30,000. Beneath that, what can we do within our business to bring that to life as a whole? That's what we want to ask ourselves. So this starts from doing a reflection on your current skill sets. Going back to that exercise where I talked about looking at your business like it's a house. This is where we can see what components we need to really develop or what processes we need to develop within our business itself to become more well-rounded within our business and to put ourselves in a position to make this happen. It also could come down to new things that we want to try, new projects that we want to launch, new products that we want to roll out, and client results that we want to create. All of these things come together to help create that Q1 goal and that target, which all leads towards that big picture annual goal. So I shared a post just recently inside my free Facebook community, Unleash CEOs, link in the description below if you're not a member of that yet. And in this post, I talked about this exact process that I'm talking about here in reverse engineering your goal to make it much more attainable for you and much more of a simplified daily focus to work towards. So in this post here, I talked about somebody reaching out and asking me saying, basically, I want to be at consistent 15K months in my online business in 2022, but I feel like I'm stuck hovering at or below 5K and my results are sporadic. What are a few steps you recommend that I take to create more predictable results in my business? My answer, simple math and simplified focus. For example, let's say your offer is priced at 3K. This means to scale to 15K per month, you need to go from 1 new client to 5 new clients a month. Because if you're selling a 3K offer times 5, that equals 15 itself. Now, that automatically starts to become more simple, just like we illustrated in the last part of the video itself. Now let's take it a step further and say, right now you're closing calls at an average rate of 20%. So every 1 in 5 calls that you hop on, you land a high ticket sale. And in Messenger right now, every 15 combos you have is 1 call booked and 1 sales opportunity in place. When you simplify that down to a daily focus, all it comes down to is 10 Messenger combos a day to hit 15K a month. So now the real question for us on a daily basis becomes, how can I go out and create 10 purposeful Messenger conversations a day? We're not focused on just hitting that 150K mark. We're not even focused on hitting that quarterly mark. We're focused on the daily target and the daily inputs that will bring that goal to life itself. And the more that we can strip away the big picture and really focus on the inputs and the process that will bring that big picture to life, the easier it is for us to actually bring that goal to life itself. So for me last year, what I did was basically just rinse and repeat this process every single quarter. Focus on client results in that first quarter. improved elements of my coaching program, reassessed, reflected, asked myself again, what can I do to improve this? Where are people getting stuck at? How can I make this program even more powerful? And did the same thing in Q2. I look back at that first paid masterclass for conversion asset that I launched. Ask myself, what did this do for my business as a whole? Did it help me achieve those monthly targets? Did it make it easier for me to create 10 messenger conversations a day? Did it make it easier for me to get calls booked and present offers? If so, let's do something like this again in the next quarter because it worked well. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing within marketing itself always comes back to testing new things and seeing what sticks, what works, and what doesn't. Going into the last year as a whole, I didn't know if that masterclass would work. I didn't know if what I was implementing within my coaching program would work either. But I knew that by giving myself the time to reflect on where I was currently at, I was putting myself in the best position to win and putting my trust in that to allow myself to assess again at the end of this next quarter and see what I can change here from this point to move to that next step. And what happened for me, after the first 2 quarters of 2021 itself, I took my first client from 0 to 6 figures in less than 12 months' time. I took multiple clients from 0 to their first 10K month. I helped other clients go from their first 3K month to their first 10K plus month. And results just started to create a ripple effect from there, which in turn made it much easier for me to create messenger conversations and to speak with more people that were actually qualified for my program because they saw these results that I was getting from my clients and they wanted to be a part of that and they wanted to learn how I could support them in helping get those results in their business as well. So it created a ripple effect in that way. Same goes for the masterclass. This served as a great way for me to earn trust with a small group of people, and it also brought people into my coaching program, so I knew that, hey, this is a good thing to possibly consider doing again here in the future because this worked well. But that doesn't mean I can't ask myself, within that masterclass launch, what did I learn? How can I develop it in the next one? What area was kind of weak? What area was strong? And what can I do going forward to make it even more powerful, just like I was talking about with the client results as a whole? So big picture here in today's video is to start by reflecting on your previous year, looking back at what you did in each and every quarter of the year itself. After you're writing down what you did in each quarter, moments, milestones, wins, losses, whatever it may be, look back at that list and start to reflect on each and every element. Asking yourself, what did I learn from this? How can I develop from this? How did this make me grow as a person? What can I do to improve from this in the new year? And really diving deep on that to where now you can start to focus on setting goals around this and being aware of the problems that maybe you were experiencing last year as well as the wins and taking those into effect on your new targets for the next year. In order to get to where you want to go, you have to be very clear on where you're currently at right now. What are you doing? What's working? What isn't working? And how can we create more predictability within our process going into this next month and next year as a whole to not only just duplicate what we did in the previous year, but take it to new levels and new heights. And what do we need to focus on beneath that to make that happen itself? That's what we want to think about when setting goals in 2022. And it's very important that we are being aware of those problems, we're setting that big picture goal, and we're thinking backwards more towards the process and what we can implement on that daily, weekly, and monthly basis to bring that big picture goal to life. Target. So if you fell short of your goal last year, it's no big deal. It's a learning experience. Ask yourself last year why you fell short. What areas you need to develop in? What skill sets do you need to get in place this year to actually bring that target to life? And this is why it's vital to go out and give yourself what you need to actually bring that goal to life. Many times early on, I would tell myself I could just find this solution during a YouTube video or during some free method itself, and more than often it would just lead me to going down rabbit holes and ending up with less clarity than what I had to begin with. But if you can go out and ask someone that you trust, if you can go out and find that coach that you trust, and go out and arm yourself with what you need to develop the skills that are needed to bring that goal to life, you're putting yourself in a position to win, and you can show up in the process with trust and with confidence, which in turn create the outcomes that you want to create. So as we wrap up today's video today, first and foremost, for those of you here that enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and drop a comment below letting me know your number one takeaway from the video. And if you haven't already, let me know your number one goal for 2022. So for those of you here that want a personalized roadmap towards building a six-figure business or towards hitting whatever goal that you want to hit itself, breaking down exactly where you're at and the best steps that you need to take based on where you're at to getting to where you want to go, I encourage you to click the link in the description below and reserve your battle plan and roadmap session with us, where we'll take and share with you the exact step-by-step process to bringing that goal to life so you can see for yourself how you can make it happen and make a decision from there on what is the next best step for you going forward in 2022. And lastly, for those of you sticking around to the end to see who the lucky winner was from the last video where I broke down 5 things I'd do differently if I were to start my online business over from scratch, giving away my 6-figure messenger masterclass from free, which breaks down the exact messenger strategies that I use to scale to that first 6-figure year. The randomly selected lucky winner of this giveaway from the last video goes to Jennifer Barici. So congratulations, Jennifer. You are the winner of this masterclass. Be sure to reach out to me if you can on Facebook with your email. I will try to do the same, but let me know what your email is. That way I can grant you access to that and get you plugged into the masterclass itself. As we close out here again, for those of you that watched today's video, thanks for watching. If you got value from this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And before you go, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button. Show some love to the channel as we approach 1,000 subscribers here.